Welcome
guys.
back, guys. This is the journey of Miamoto.
Will he prevail? Let's find out.
Now, Miamoto traversed the cold winds of the 6th generation. He had all this time good sales with his Wii and 3DS. He used this to take shelter from the cold winds of the fanboys of "I want good graphics." Yeah! He knew that 7th generation he would have to get his game on. As he traversed, wondering what he wanted, he knew that he couldn't just make another system with good graphics. It would be pointless. He had to make a newish idea. He had to think to himself, what could I do? What went well? He looked back at his previous success. The DS wasn't graphically impressive, but it sold brilliantly, had many good games, and its dual screen capability, well, that made it a hit for many game developers. He knew the DS was probably one of his best systems. He also knew that the Wii, well, low graphic powered, it also did very well. Its motion controls appealed to families all around. He knew if he combined the two, he could make a shelter from the cold winds.
He tried to restore his hope, and eventually he gained back the hope that he originally had. The fanboys no longer bothered him, and he was safe in his shelter.
The light gave him the courage that he needed. Yes, courage. That is what he needed. He needed to be brave, to face new ideas, to not be scared of the masses. He knew that anything creative could appeal to someone out there. So he thought, if I cross this bridge, will I be able to turn back? It's a risk I'll have to take. As he crossed the bridge of the new generation, he brought about the new age, the 7th generation. He had started work on his new system, the Nintendo Wii U. May not be officially that named, it might be. But anyway, the Wii U, a combination of his Nintendo Wii and his Nintendo DS. A games console with high-gen graphics, with another screen, with new ideas. He progressed against the harsh winds, the hardships he had faced. He knew he should continue.
It was an uphill struggle, but he would continue against all odds.
EC 2012, this is when he would find out how people would feel. Would they push him back and reject his ideas, favouring instead the Kinect? Because that may be the future. Star Wars Kinect. I mean, damn. Have you seen that game? And Sony Silverfish power.
Silverfish.
Sony knew. Sony were angry, enraged, furious that he was trying to bring about a new age. Damn you! Now we'll have to make a PS4. I am furious, Miyamoto. No, said Miyamoto. Don't do this, Sony. Don't. You have incurred my wrath, Miyamoto. Why, Sony? I thought you were a nice company. A company that knew that maybe graphics weren't everything, that anything can be possible. Remember the PS1? Remember? Remember? But that was ages ago. Silverfish Sony, I implore you to reconsider. Well, okay. And then the Silverfish Sony buggered off. For no reason whatsoever.
However, this did not deter them for long, as they started to think, maybe we can't go back to that way. Maybe we have to be new. We have to win.
Only the minority thought that they should go back to being normal and stop going into reality. However, that was only the minority. The majority ate them alive. As Miyamoto heard the screams, the cries of those begging for good games, he knew he had to make good games. He had to continue to be being the one that may be behind on the technology. but at least had his loyal fans and could trust them to try and enjoy the games he would make. However, Sony were not easily deterred. Wait a second, why did we just leave him? He just implored us to reconsider. Damn! And Miyamoto knew the Wii U. Would it be a success? He had a few ideas, but he needed to beat Sony at their own game. Eventually, friends started to join him. Miyamoto, you could do it. Don't worry. I'll deter them from you. You must progress, Miyamoto. No! Reggie! Damn you, Sony. I can never forgive you for this. Oh, Reggie, you okay? Who's this Sony? Oh. Excellent. As Reggie and Miyamoto continued forward, the new idea sprang into their head. What if the controller screen could be used as a TV screen? That way, while your family could be watching TV, you could be playing games consoles. Brilliant idea! I mean, I would really like that idea, because seriously, do you know how much time my parents take on the TV? I mean, damn. They need to get off at one point. And touchscreen capabilities. I mean, it was a success for the DS using a stylus. Obviously, they thought combining all these new ideas and new and old ideas that they could prevail. But of course, Miyamoto, he may be a genius, but he can't predict the future perfectly all the time. I mean, the Virtual Boy, while ambitious, didn't really work out at all. However, as the gears of time moved forward, Miyamoto knew that there's no point in looking back to the past. The future, that is where one must look. You can't be happy if you always look back on the negatives of the past. One must always look forward. This is why he continued on with Reggie, his best chum. Not bum chum, because that is gay, but a chum, you know, a friend, a buddy, you know. Anyway, while they hopped with the jellyfish skirts, Miyamoto had a thing for jellyfish. Nothing sexual, but just said like he just liked jellyfish. You know, he approached the great temple of the gaming gods. Said gaming gods are impressed with the work and Miyamoto has done. He said it is still far for freaking Microsoft and Sony to enter this temple. But Miyamoto, are you sure you can go through with this? The Wii U might not work, you know. Do you hear me, Miyamoto? Do you hear me? Hi! Said Miyamoto, because he's Japanese. Hi means yes. And yeah. Reggie was like, don't worry, I'll do the English speaking. Never mind about I'm off the screen now. Miyamoto, you are the leader of Nintendo. Only you may progress. Reggie can follow a little bit, but frankly, you are the main character. Miyamoto plucked up his courage and moved forward. This was his test, the final test perhaps. There will be much more tests in the future, but for now, he is starting a new era. People will obviously follow behind him. Nintendo will release their Wii U. PlayStation will release their PlayStation 4U. Microsoft will put screens in their discs because they will release the Microsoft Xbox 720U touchscreen edition, Platinum. This will be another catastrophe though. I mean, Miyamoto knew 7th generation. Nothing's changed, has it? Everyone will still be quarreling and hating and being fanboys to each other. There will be no peace. People are trying now, but it's only first and third company. No. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, will they ever work together? I want this to happen, but I need their cooperation. What can I do? Said Miyamoto. How can I get their cooperation? This is a question that he will only have to be able to answer himself. this question, the answer, is always in the future. And while it's good to look at the future, Miamoto thought, I can't look that far. If I look that far, I will lose myself. I won't be able to look at the present. I will only be able to fret about the future. And that, it will not do at all. And he struggled against the turbulence, the storm of gamers that are coming, the new generation of children. He knew what they would be growing up on. The 4-year-olds will grow up to be 8-year-olds. They will have children. Unfortunately, he said children will have parents who grew up on Call of Duty, and you know how Call of Duty is. Everybody swears. The new generation will be swearing their asses off.
They progressed their way, trying to get to their said haven. The struggle was immense. He knew in his heart this generation could suck. Call of Duty, Battlefield, Medal of Honor, these were not games. They were just merely fads. Games were meant to be made for heart, passion, soul, for fun, not for graphics.
As Miyamoto dragged his company behind him, they both saw the light.
They slowly, but surely, began to understand. They continued forward until they used their last breath. They carried on through this thick and thin, and the fans worshipped them for that. They had done it. They had finally realised the full potential of the 7th gen.
Miyamoto had finally figured it out. The answer. Something Sony and Microsoft have not figured out yet. As he fell and collapsed, he saw said answer. Games. What are they? What is a game? Miyamoto thought. This feeling, I had it long ago. Yes, when I started making games. They're not about graphics or what's the best company. It's about the customer, in a way. It's about having fun with making the game and with the game itself.
It's about the experience, the joy, the passion, the fun.
As the gods of gaming looked down at Miyamoto, they knew he had figured it out. Said gods suspiciously looked like Microsoft, but it wasn't. I mean, there's multiple Microsofts. I mean, that wouldn't make sense. These are gods, obviously. I mean, look, they're brighter and stuff, and they can elongate your scarf. And
yes,
so
they
it's
had
not
brought
Microsoft.
Miyamoto back, for he had seen the truth.
He went Super Saiyan, and then he disintegrated. Oh no, yeah, Super Saiyan, and he flew into the turbulence. He shone his way of light. Goodbye, Sony Silverfish. Goodbye, Microsoft. You will find out the answer one day. Games, therefore, the people, the fans. It's your personal opinion. Stop trying to shove your opinion on other people. The company that you like, the company that you support, the heroes that you love, the heroes that you support, the games that you enjoy playing, or the games you may not enjoy playing. It's personal opinion. No one has the right to force their opinion on others. There is no right answer. There is no one answer. Except for really bad games. In that case, yeah, these are probably bad. But for the most part, the game, if you love it, then you love it. There is no bad, for the most part. There is no perfect. There will never be a perfect game. Perfect game will never exist, because that would be the game everybody enjoys. And Miyamoto knew this is something that can't be accomplished, not by today's standards. As people grow older, they leave their games. Miyamoto slid down, and he thought, damn, I wish there was another part to continue the story, because we're running out of time. Bye guys.